who is ready to step forward. This is for the woman who is resentful in relationships, who is tired of being in relationships that don't really fulfill her, who doesn't really get their message across, who is tired of attracting the same type of man, the type of man who doesn't really listen to her, who lacks drive and purpose, and she ends up carrying the entire relationship, the emotional load. She is tired of attracting the same type of man, the type of man who likes drive, the type of man who lacks or doesn't really respond to responsibility. And we're gonna talk about that. And if you're interested, please let me know in the chat. I'm going to go forward and talk about what makes you, I can answer that question with a million of answers, but we're not gonna answer the question by just answering in the surface. We have to really go into the depths of why is that reason, why are you attracting those type of people. And at the end of the day, this answer is going to vary for the type of woman that you are. Okay, welcome in. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat and I'm going to answer them once I'm done with my message today. And why do you keep attracting the same type of man? The one who lacks drive, the one who doesn't really follow through, who maybe in the beginning when he was pursuing you, he was like making the dates. He was all about, looking to make you fall in love with him. But once you started a relationship, the dynamic shifted. And why did that begin, right? The difference between attracting him and choosing to keep him is completely different. So in the beginning phase, this is something that is very common for many couples. And in the era that we're living today, women don't really know when to stop being this boss type of woman that they are. So they're dragging the relationship into the same identity that they bring into the workplace. We forget that men enjoy being in charge. And instead of letting him lead, you take the lead because that's the type of woman that you are. So it could be also, just like I said in the beginning, every answer is going to vary for the type of woman that you are. So I would love to know which one you are, okay? If you are an overfunctioning woman, you're obviously going to attract an underfunctioning man. So if you normally control, you take the lead, you don't wait whenever you're asking this man for something, instead of letting him respond at his own time, you're gonna be like, oh, I'd rather just do it and get it over with. Like, instead of him doing it at his own time, we don't understand that men have a priority list kind of in their own mind. So whatever you tell them, they are listening to you, but they don't do it because it's not on the priority list. It's not in their mind, in their priority list. So instead of getting it done right that second, they have many things to get done beforehand. If they work at home, it's even different. So there's also a reason why you are attracting this type of man, and this is because you're dating his potential instead of a reality. So I have many people whom I know that they're like, oh yeah, he could do so much better. Like, I know that he will do something, but in the present moment they're not really showing them that. The partner is not really showing them that potential. So it's like the woman is living in this fantasy, even though she sees the potential in the man, instead of living in reality and in the present moment, and instead of being aware of what she's getting herself into, she hopes, which is not a bad quality. But if you're constantly disappointed and if you're constantly feeling resentful towards him, that's not doing you a disservice. That's not doing you any good. So let me know if this is making sense for you, because I can go on the reasons but I thought I would do this video because the reasons are endless, the answers are endless, right? So we have to get to a point on, oh, I have to look inwards. Oh, I'm choosing this partner, therefore what is the constant in your past relationships? Me. The only constant in past relationships is yourself. So if you are the person who keeps on choosing this type of man, there's something underneath that. There is this identity of this woman who kind of either likes this type of attention that she's getting from this type of man, or, you know, like there are so many reasons, but we have to look inwards. And that's where I explain this creating extraordinary relationships, where I've built this course, and as each week go by, I add more resources and I add more chapters. And this week, we're actually going to talk about how to actually get the man, how to actually attract that man, and what steps are in this specific chapter. I am so excited because, you know, the first 2 weeks was about looking inwards, was about, oh, I have this type of identity. Oh, let me recognize it. Let me see what type of patterns I've been attracting so far until today. So I would love to invite you for creating extraordinary relationships. And I'm calling in all of the women who are tired of being in resentful relationships, who's tired of being disappointed, who's tired of, you know, being in relationships that are not really fulfilling her. Yeah. I am so excited to be here and welcome you in. Let me know if you are, you know, give me 1 second. Let me just. Okay, yes, I did it. I don't really care for like the people who don't, who are commenting silly things, but my point is that my message is way stronger than whatever people like want to share, whatever people like want to say a negative comment or anything. So my point is This is not recorded. This is not AI. I see you guys. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to answer your questions at the end of my message. And I just thought I would do this video because there are so many women who I was actually crying yesterday because I was feeling very emotional about this subject, and like about how people don't realize that they can actually change their lives by just looking inwards and getting to learn about themselves and actually learn about their patterns. But there is this specific type of woman or a specific type of person who is here to grow, but has to have consistency, has to have the discipline, has to have this drive and desire to grow within themselves. So I cannot force anybody. And even though like people around me, I think that's the most hard thing. Like you cannot make anybody listen to you just because you think that you have the answer. So everything is going to vary for people. And if this resonates, it's for a reason. And you're here for a reason. If you're being called to join extraordinary relationships, don't wait any longer, because the investment is going to continue going up every week. And the content is just so expansive, so powerful, so life-changing. And I thought I would, share this because there are endless answers to this question of like why you keep attracting men who are not worth your time. And it's because of you. At the end of the day, if I if I can simplify this entire video, it's because you keep choosing them. If you actually want to change that, join the course. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. You are able to attract your most fulfilling relationship. You're able, in this course, I talk about the identity reconstruction, how to attract the man. And even though I share all of these chapters that I'm mentioning right now, it's not that thing. It's way deeper than that. So anyway, yeah, hello, Gabriel. Thank you. Women and men, yes. If you're feeling called, it's for a reason. Join. Thank you for subscribing. Hello, Olivia. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, kind of lover. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions about the relationships, let me know. What is that? Muhammad says, before marriage, a boy and a girl love each other, but after marriage, their love gradually starts to decrease. I don't think that's true. I'd like to disagree with you. But Before I disagree with you, I want to shed some light on your comment, because whatever our perception is what we've experienced in our past. So maybe you saw this as the many examples you were able to witness in your childhood. But I would like to shed some light and to invite you to think beyond that. I actually do not believe that that's true. I think that when you get married, love changes. And when love changes, trust changes. And I think you're able to become a, like, you get to evolve in ways that you would have never imagined before. But this is only in a conscious relationship, in a conscious marriage. Like if in the relationship there's a lot of resentment, a lot of things going underneath the surface, I think you don't really get to connect on a soul level, if that makes sense. Blue says, I need help with relationships. What do you need help with? I would love to shed some light. Am I married? I have a fiance. I'm planning my wedding actually for next year. Hi Lee. Just like I said, I already answered the question. Say hi to my sister Patricia. Hey Patricia. Gabriel says if wait. Hi Kuldeep, I don't really understand your question. Do you mind reframing it? So I would like to talk a little bit more about what this person said, because many people think that, and that's not really true. That after marriage, the spark disappears, and in my way of thinking, I do not believe that, and I think women carry a lot of power in a relationship and a lot of the energy in the relationship. I think both men and women carry different roles, and it is up to us to define what those roles are. And to get to the point of what I'm trying to say is, when we carry the relationship, when we carry the energy in the relationship, I don't want to say that it is up to us for the spark to keep the spark up, but I do think that, putting yourselves in different situations and doing new things and having different experiences. I think whenever we think about marriage, we just think about a dull, stable life. And even though that makes a person have, develop trust, develop, a bunch of this amazing emotions that you're not able to have in a toxic relationship, I think it's good to keep the spark alive, that to continue to do new things in this marriage. I actually am going to talk about that subject deeper in the course because it is a very interesting subject. Because women, like men can be happy for a long time, but women, we tend to feel and vocalize more. So if we see that the spark is not happening still as it was in the beginning, we tend to overanalyze. We tend to say like, oh, things are not really going like they used to. What can I do? I think you should look inwards first of all. Put yourself first. Put the attention where it's supposed to matter. Yes, it's all about communication. It's all about talking about your needs. It, there are just so many layers in a relationship that I cannot just mention all of them. Black Leo says, put God first, 1000%. This is something that I mentioned in the course in creating extraordinary relationships. I mentioned that to be able to surrender to a source greater than yourself puts you in this not only vulnerable place, but also you kind of hand over all of life and kind of puts you in this space of everything is working in for my greater good. Everything is working in my favor. So to be able to surrender and to be able to have this greater source looking after you, I think the human needs that. I used to speak about this with my grandfather because he's a doctor, and many doctors are, all about science, and they're all about, what's the scientific proof. And we used to have really interesting conversations about this subject. And whereas my grandmother, his wife, would be very religious, she would used to pray and, all of this. So I used to ask him, like, why don't you believe in God? And he's just like, I'm agnostic. Like, what's proven? What's scientifically proven? And I think I love having both parts of this beliefs, because I think they are, at the end of the day, religion is all saying, most of religions are essentially saying similar things. Sorry. And to get to the point, my grandfather would say that the human needs to believe that there is something greater than them. Rob says, as soon as trust is gone, it's very hard to recover from that. What do you mean? I think trust has to be developed over time. And you could even have like a journal where you need to be able to define what trust means to you, to be able to, recover from whatever you've been through. So if you would like to share what it is that you went through, I would love to know. Hello, Monica. Welcome in. Thank you. I'm not in a cult, by the way. Equato says, when I look at you, I also see depth, tenderness, and light of your soul. Thank you so much. I think, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. If you're feeling called to join relationships, to join creating extraordinary relationship, to be able to attract and not repeat your the same patterns you've been repeating, the same type of man that you've been dating, join, okay? I'm gonna go and do that class today on how to actually get the man. So excited. And yeah, and actually in a little bit I have that scheduled. Hello, Oleg from Massachusetts. Cool, welcome in. Thank you for your compliments. I'm actually 30. I'm engaged. Yeah. No, I actually haven't read it. I mean, I've read it when I was in school, but it's been a long time. I don't remember it. One final reminder for my ladies over here watching. Access is earned, okay? And attraction is kind of automatic. So instead of falling automatically for someone that you don't really know, whoever has access to you, their access should be earned. Like, you should really take your time to get to know the person that you want. If you're already in a relationship and you think the partner that you are with is the man of your dreams, if you have the strength to change, you will see change around yourself. You will inspire those around you to change. And if they don't change, it's your decision to decide to be there. At the end of the day, it's your decision to decide whether or not you get to continue dating that type of person, the one who you're tired from. And yeah, just don't waste any more time and join the course. This is not an intro. Underboss, nice to meet you. Wish you and your fiance a long, healthy marriage. Thank you so much. I appreciate your message. Thank you. he says, I want strong, healthy relationship based on everything right from the start. And you're able to get that. I think we need to be very clear on what it is that you want for to be able to see it. Have you ever noticed, like, whenever you get a car, whatever that brand of the car is, you start seeing the same car that you just got all over? It's the same thing when we think about our beliefs. If we believe that we're not able to get a fulfilling relationship, or if we think that we're not able to get an amazing woman, your mind is going to project out a confirmation of those beliefs. So at the end of the day, we kind of have to look at what our beliefs are to be able to rewire them, to be able to change what we are projecting out. We're projecting out unconsciously. We're projecting out and we're automatically. So instead of us, getting to work by doing this, what I'm sharing right now, it's hard. Not if you know the framework. Once you know the framework and you know how exactly to get it done, you will begin to change this identity you've constructed. Hi, welcome in from Spain. Thank you for your compliments, guys. Well, my John says the goal is to make more money. Okay, yes, make that happen. And right now, well, at least this couple of months, I've been talking about relationships. And my entire channel right now is focused on relationships, on creating your most authentic, your most amazing relationships. I think it is very important for women for this course or for this channel, because we tend to carry the emotional load on a relationship. Whenever things are not feeling right, we tend to be vocal about it. So to be able to carry that consciously in a healthy manner, to be able to communicate in a loving way, I think it's very important for a woman. So yes, this channel is for women who want to make better relationships, who want to grow, who want bigger and expansive lives that are going to make them at the end of the day better. Thank you so much for your wishes, guys. I appreciate it. Rixar, James, Oleg. John says, no one can be trusted in this world. I disagree with that. Um, I often say that whatever you see in me is often a reflection of you. Underboss says, money can't buy true love. Wait, yeah, money can't buy true love, a healthy relationship. I think money plays a part, but it's not like, yeah, it's not all there is. I think for healthy relationship, more things matter. Yeah. So to say that money is the only thing that we care about, it's a lie. It's a limiting belief. It's something that you have been brainwashed to believe. I think what I encourage my people that watch my videos, it's to get someone that cares for you, who's willing to work for the family, who's willing to be driven about whatever their own purpose is, to encourage and go after their own dreams. And like, I never say, go get a billionaire. Like, that's, no. It's not something bad. It's not something that you cannot get, but I think it doesn't have to do with values, if that makes sense. I think my type of work is more about values. There, like, the money will follow. Like, if you're driven, if you have discipline, you will, the money is going to follow that. So yeah, if you have faith, the money is going to follow that. But I do think money is important. I do think I do have a like big desires. Kuldeep says, are you a relationship coach? I teach about relationships. Yes, I have a course on relationships, on creating extraordinary relationships. .363 English says, women want man with money because it provides security, the same as women wanted the caveman who could hunt through best in prehistoric times. I agree with you. Like, women, essentially, we want to be provided for, but I think if you put into perspective, it's because whenever we are pregnant, like, we need to be taken care for. So yes, however, whenever I said what I said about, just caring only for money, I think that's a misconception. But yes, women essentially want security, want to be with someone that's going to take care of us. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to create your most fulfilling relationship, join me on Extraordinary Relationships, and I'll wait for you in there. Okay? Bye, guys. Thank you for